Alrighty, welcome back. We are still live at Big 12 Media Days. I need to say one thing, Moon, and I got to be honest when I say this. This event is spectacular. Like the way it's ran is well ran. The access that you have to coaches and players, and some of these players that we've interviewed, and you guys will see these interviews over the next couple of days. As Moon is going live today. I'm going live today at 4 p.m. for Governor of College Football. It's just really dope to see the type of event that they have. I see why they had it at a place like the Ford Center. A lot of media has showed up for it. So it's just, I don't know, spectacular to be here. Shout out to everybody who's watching this right now. Sorry about the stream earlier. We weren't hardwired. We're hardwired now, so we're good to go. So Moon, I'll talk about, some of the things that you've seen. It's still early, really early in the process, but talk about some of the things you've seen so far today.
The energy is picked up as the day gone on. Of course, we were up earlier than the sun. Getting to it. Early bird gets the worm out here in Frisco. The Ford Center is amazing. It's really breathtaking being able to look around here, to see how a multi-purpose complex is still, it's housing high school football games. It's housing events like this. This event is like open energy. It feels like, we see mascots just roaming around. We had a Kansas Jayhawk just bomb the show earlier today. Like, it's really a festive time. I feel like this is up there as far as best media days experiences. And hey, we on Radio Row, so can't be mad about that at all. The players that we got a chance to talk to have all been good, like really, really cool. Like LJ Martin, oh my God, like it was just the fact that like he maintains eye contact with you when he's talking to you.
Time.
You can tell that he cares. You can tell he's a genuine, like, good kid.
Great
bro.
upbringing.
Yeah.
You guys will see the interview, so we're not trying to spoil anything, but it's amazing. Some of the answers that we got from that kid, he's ready for this season. If there's a breakout back that I'm betting on, it's LJ Martin for sure.
LJ Martin for sure.
Yeah. And we're going to continue to bring you guys, super content as we said. I'm just so glad we don't got any drop frames right now in the hardwire. Shout out to the Ford Center. So we just going to talk. We don't have anything scripted. Of course, our shows will be a little bit scripted later on. So Brett Yormark did go on a little bit earlier and addressed everyone. And every time we get the commissioners open at any media days that we've ever been to, the commissioner's number one job is to rep the brand.
Yes.
That's his number one job,
100%.
to be a brand ambassador, to say why the Big 12 is here and alive. And the one thing that I noticed immediately from Brett Yormark was that he recognized people asking him questions.
Yes.
Like, he's like, and the people he didn't recognize, hey, is this your first event? No, or were you at the one last year? I didn't remember seeing you. So he tries to go around and talk to everybody. So that's pretty impressive because, you know how you and I both feel about Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner. He shows us love every time he sees us. So that was the first thing. So he did his job as a brand ambassador. More fourth quarter game-changing leads than any other conference. We've been saying for years that the Big 12 is the most exciting conference as it pertains to, lead changes and, late games. And, we've already said that we think this is the deepest quarterback conference. And we are hoping to get an interview with both Sunshine and Sawyer Robinson today. We've talked to both of their SIDs. So just talk to me about some of your thoughts about some of the things that Brett Yormark had to say.
Well, the Big 12 partnering with the WWE is on the horizon.
Amazing.
That's
TNT.
TNT is on the horizon. It already was announced, but the Big 12 and the WWE connection with each other is insane. They didn't really let the cat out of the bag, so we couldn't really know a lot of the talking points that they were going to make. However,
they are making a major announcement tomorrow.
Major announcement dropping soon. It kind of reminds me of like last year when we saw the ACC debut. Like, oh, they're working with the CW for. It makes me feel the same way. Brett Yormark, bro, I feel like he's just a people's commissioner. Like, he's a people's commissioner. It's hard to like listen to him talk and not pay attention. You're not gonna tune him out just because he cares. He stopped answering a question, just to make sure he said that, hey, I got to give a special shout out to my son. It's his 21st birthday. I love being your dad. Like, when you look at it at its core, deeper than what his responsibilities are, or who he is as a power player in this game of college football dynamics. the guy is just a genuine guy, man. Like, he really is a person that cares, and you could tell that he really cares about the Big 12. It was really crazy when we started rattling off stats about how the Big 12 is in comparison to the other conference, like number 2 in Twitter and social media following. The brand is growing more and more, and even what you said about, like, if he's a new face, if he sees a new face, I'm sure if he would have saw us, he'd be like, "Hey, is this your first time here?" Like, yeah, Bert. Like, yeah, it's our first time. So yeah, man, he really did a great job, and I feel like if you're gonna galvanize the troops, if you're gonna make everybody come together, especially in the time opening day, he did that. It was some weight because we were up here at 7 o'clock this morning, really six something this morning so he went live at 10:30, so we had to wait quite some time, but it wasn't like it dragged on. He got in, was able to hit his pockets, he had his script that he had, and he followed it, he executed, and I feel like he hit on all cylinders. There's something that I really wish he would have tapped on more, which was this PayPal and Big 12 partnership that they got going on. But I think that the brand ambassadors like Sam Levitt, some other players are going to be able to talk more about it.
It's a forum that I believe that they're having.
Yeah, like later on today. Almost like a panel. See Barrett Morton over there to our right. Crazy. I think Scott Frost to our left. It's crazy being out here on Radio Row. But what's your thoughts on Commissioner Yormark and like?
So, I mean, you already know how I feel about, Commissioner Yormark. Like I said, early on when not a lot of conferences, where the ACC was under siege, the Pac-12 was under siege, the Big 12 was under siege. They lose their 2 biggest brands. So how can they survive? Can they continue being a power conference? They're not surviving. They're thriving. Big 12 is 100% thriving, and it's because how ambitious Brett Yormark was. Like, I remember when he went to go have a conversation with UConn. Hey, if UConn were to join our conference, what does that look like? We know on the football side, even though they're a budding program, Jim Moyer Jr. has the program headed in the right direction, but, what they would get with basketball would be incredible. What would that look like? There was no stone that went unturned as far as him trying to grow the brand, and he did a phenomenal job with that. Some of the key things he said to me, Big 12 profile is as strong as it has ever been. I love that.
Bars.
I love that. I love that a lot. I already mentioned more fourth quarter lead changes than any other conference. Love that as well. True third party NIL is something that he wants as well. He doesn't want teams having, too much interference with it. Yeah, that way things that shouldn't be happening under the table aren't happening under the table. He wants true third party NIL. He used a beautiful line, and I hope I don't mess this up. He said that the Big 12 resides at the intersection of sports, business, and culture.
Come on, bro.
I'm like, alrighty, this guy.
Who wrote this for you?
Right.
Chat.
And we got Matt Campbell on stage. He's live right now, so I'm excited to interview some more players. I'm excited to talk to more SIDs. We've been around SIDs a lot. It seems like these SIDs are the friendliest we've been around, and that's no disrespect to anybody we've dealt with at the ACC or any other conference, albeit G5 or P4. But these SIDs are amazing, bro. Truly amazing, friendly. It was dope talking to Baylor, and he already knew who we were. Like, cool.
And it's crazy.
You're telling us, hey man, send the information. We want it. Send the information. Let her have us down there in Waco. So I've been talking about walking in Waco all off season. It's happening.
We're gonna be walking in Waco, baby.
It's happening this season.
We're gonna be walking in Waco.
Shout out to EA Sports. We got EA Sports next to us. They let us play college football 26. I ain't even purchased a game because I knew I wasn't gonna be home until Thursday. So
it's fluid though. It's very
really
fluid,
nice
though.
game. So we have some surprise interviews we're gonna have with people who are either in the NFL or former NFL players. We're not gonna spoil any of those. I think we've already said that Matt Berry. We're interviewing Matt Berry at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be live on Governor College Football. So it's just so many fantastic things going on. I love the setup. Can we
The setup is growing on me.
Can we just talk about the setup?
Yeah.
So we've been at a lot of media days, a lot of events in general, but this setup is spectacular. Like Radio Row, you're right here in the with people that you see, you know what I'm saying? Bleacher Report is right there. ESPN is right there. You know, KillerFrogs.com is right here. It's the who's who is all right here in this section. And then players like they don't gatekeep. You know what I mean? Like some conferences they'll gatekeep player access, or the Senior Bowl who didn't used to gatekeep the interviews. They gatekeep
That's
within
a
a certain
great example.
realm. You know what I'm saying? Like you get 10 minutes and it's a bum rush. Here, the players are just walking around. You can walk up to them. Hey, you want to interview? I ain't doing nothing else. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll interview. So
and you better watch your step, or you might run into a mascot that'll give you everything you hope for and more.
Right. Yeah. Arizona State mascot went crazy.
Sparky.
It's Sparky wasn't playing games. So like I said, I just love this setup. It's spacious. It doesn't feel as condensed. So I kind of owe Scott Satterfield an apology, because he was just talking about how mega the event was, and his first season, like, you know, here it's at the Ford Center in Frisco, Texas, and it's spacious. You got space. You see people, you know, on their laptops, you know, sitting where the fans would normally sit at. It's like access, like nothing is gated off. You know, there's cheerleaders here. I don't think I've ever seen cheerleaders at any of the ACC ones we went to. Like the mascots, they just like y'all saw earlier. If you was watching earlier, mascot just came and interrupted our set, but it was cool. It was dope. It was fun. So, like I said, this event is spectacular. We met a lot of spectacular people. Everybody just showing mad love. So I'm excited to be here, brother.
I am too. I can't even put it into full words. Like right now, we're in Radio Row. They have the middle of the field for like Bleacher Report and some of the other entities that's out here. Got radio stations. It's, you name it, it's probably out here. From individual team pages to us that covers the entire nation. Being here is crazy. Like they have a whole press conference going on right now, streaming live on ESPN, by the way. So you're not missing anything, by the way. So they interviewing Matt Campbell, and it's not congested. I can still look over to my right and see everything that's going on. The vibe is just great, and I think the mascots add like a different touch to it. The cheerleaders add like a different touch to it. TCU feel like they brought like a bunch of cheerleaders.
Hey, man, we got to go there.
Gotta go TCU.
We have
Super
to.
Frog.
It's crazy.
Oh, I know something I gotta talk to you about.
What's that?
So we're looking at all these quarterbacks just coming through and rolling through, man. We're just looking through all these quarterbacks that's coming through, and tell me why. There's a guy that's walking in Waco. Sawyer Robinson looks like a dude. Sawyer Robinson will make Rocco Beck, Avery Johnson, Jalen Daniels. He will make all them look like nothing.
He's a legit 6'3", 6'4". Legit.
And he's chiseled, like rock solid. Like he looks
He looks
well
apart.
put together. 100%. That was probably. I stopped the governor and I was like, "You see this dude?"
Yo, let me tell you something. That kid, I think this is last year playing college ball. I do fully expect him to be in next year's NFL draft. And I expect when these owners and these staffers see this kid, see how he can throw the ball, and he's mobile as well. He looks like a quarterback. And that kid, Josh Cameron,
Yes.
he looks like a middle linebacker. Dude.
What is Baylor feeding these kids?
I don't know what they got at Waco. I don't know if it's in the water, if it's in the food. But I am telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So it's dope being out here. Is Arizona here today? I do want to.
Yeah, Arizona's here, but we haven't really seen.
We haven't seen them, so I don't know if they're coming later or if they're a part of tomorrow's. But
yeah, you see Wilbur over there getting interviewed.
But
Arizona can't wait to see Noah Fafita.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard a nugget from our friends at EA Sports. They said that Juju in Colorado is an 81 overall already. For comparison, Arch was an 80 overall last year in college football 25. But Juju, Julian Lewis, is an 81. Guess what overall Caden Salter is?
88.
Yes. Right on the money. Right on the money. Right on the money.
You know the type of motion is going to be when Prime and then walk up in this building tomorrow? Do you know what that's going to look like, brother?
It's going to shift. Like, it's all quiet. It's kind of quiet now. It's like people are, you know, hitting that lunch. What's it called? What time is it?
Yeah, I think that's when Mike is at lunch. Director Mike is at lunch.
A well-deserved lunch for Director Mike right now. But, like, you know, it's kind of chilled out. But, you know, when the Buffaloes start rolling in, Arizona starts rolling in, you know, it's a different type of energy that comes.
Let me see if we can go get Josh Cameron for an interview. Hold it down.
Okay. Say less.
Oh, actually, I think he's going somewhere. He's going somewhere. How about that? You guys need to see this kid.
Josh, come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right.
Because he's not super tall. But, like, when you watch his game, you see how he plays with physicality. Like, he's not quite as tall. If you guys remember David Boston, wide receiver, Jack, played at Ohio State, played with the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, in the NFL. That's who his frame reminds me of. 1,000%.
He has that linebacker type build. Like,
So it look like
them
Sawyer-
two,
Sawyer's
Sawyer
making
and
them-
Josh,
Yeah. They look like they're NFL ready now. Just from a physical perspective.
their weight program is insane. I don't know what they feeding them kids in Waco at all. But they look like the part. They look like professional. They look like football players. 100%. You can't not mistake Sawyer Robinson. Look at him and be like, oh, he's not a dude. Even if you compare him to Baron Morton, who we saw earlier for Texas Tech, compare him to Avery Johnson, Sunshine, or any of the other 8 to 9 to 10 quarterbacks plus in the Big 12. He just sticks out like a sore thumb. And those are the things you'll be able to see at media days that you won't be able to see just watching film. You know, how it scales in comparison. So I think my love for Baylor just went through the roof even more. It's probably outside the Ford Center right now.
Right. And to know that, you know, Waco's only an hour away from, you know, where we at right now, it's just truly incredible. There go Director Mike. What you got for lunch, man? What's for lunch?
Hey, let's just say my ball. Yo, this is really cool.
So, thinking about Matt Campbell. Have you seen Rocco Beck? I don't think I've seen Rocco Beck yet.
Yeah, Rocco's here.
Rocco's here? Okay.
He's just been popping, bouncing around and stuff. But I've seen him, I saw him for a brief second.
So
It was just a glimpse.
What are your thoughts on Iowa State this year? You know, Matt Campbell's on stage talking. Like, how do you feel about them? Are you as high on them as, you know, most people are? Like, how you feeling about them overall?
When you told me earlier this offseason that, Iowa State, you might be too low, I had to kind of go back in the vault and reassess it. Because I said, man, there's no way they're going to lose Higgins and Noel and still be able to be competitive for real. How? In what world?
Right.
And then I was like, dang, they still got Rocco. It's still Rocco. And they still got that dude on the stage right now, Matt Campbell. I think I had to do a reality check, an attitude adjustment to my Iowa State approach. Because they're still probably got one of the most experienced secondaries in the entire conference. Their depth, even in skill positions, is getting, dare I say, more competitive. I feel like they're going to sneak up on people even though they are a big dog in the conference. But I feel like sneak up because even last year, they had games that they shouldn't have lost. They had games that they shouldn't have lost the Big 12 championship. I'm going to call a spade. They should not have lost the Big 12 championship. Arizona State should not be champions. If you just watch the first half of that game and you compare it to the second half of that game, there's no way on God's green earth that they didn't fumble the bag. I feel like that. But if you fast forward to where we are now, this season they get kicked off on the world stage to open the year.
They do.
That is probably some insane marketability for Iowa State. And I feel like they are the next wave of marketability, national dominance. They always rank in the top 20, top 25, somehow, some way, at the end of the year, beginning of the year. But we kind of push them to the wayside. I know I kind of push them to the wayside because they're Iowa State. Oh, they're Cyclones. Boring. Boring. But nah, I gotta wake up. I have to wake up, and that's 100% real take for you. I had to recorrect it because Governor was the one that kind of put me on. It was like, okay, it's always going to be a team that falls off. Right. It's always going to be a team that comes out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then we talking about the Big 12 and the controversy. It's just like, who is it? You know, talking to UCF earlier, it was like, yo, they feel like they're the team that's the underdog team. Yeah. But Iowa State, man, I feel like as long as they got Matt Campbell in leadership, that's like a walking 8-win, 9-win season as he's walking away off the podium. That's a 8 to 9-win walk-away season, if not higher. You know, if everything goes right, it could be in the Big 12 championship. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you told me today Iowa State was playing for the Big 12 championship again. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be like, dang, Rocco Beck went stupid. Nuclear offensive line, protected him, didn't give up more than 15-plus sacks, holding it down. But if you told me that they failed miserably, that would probably be the most surprising thing. I think Iowa State collapse is way more surprising than Iowa State success. But I just think that the program is in a good state, though. Like, what Matt Campbell has built is, like, really consistent. And year in and year out, they probably get disrespected and deemed as boring, but they're probably the most consistent team in the Big 12. All right, what you think about it?
So this conference is so hard to gauge. Like, you know, there's a few things that I know about this conference. The quarterbacks are elite. Mm-hmm. The games are exciting. You're always going to get those crazy fourth quarter, you know, style games that's going to come down. You're going to get some points to score. You know what I'm saying? Teams are definitely going to score points, and the coaches seem to be on the same page. I don't think there's another conference we can name where the coaches are on the same page. Like we saw earlier in the offseason when they were having their spring meetings down in Orlando. We saw Kenny Dillingham and Lance Leopold. They could have answered the questions for each other because they were so aligned on many of the issues. You see it a lot with the coaches. Like, the coaches respect the other coaches in this conference. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in other conferences. What I am saying is this. The respect is there. You'll hear all the coaches every coach that has come up there so far complimented the other coaches in this conference. Every single last one of them have. Because they believe in what this thing that they have. Like, I don't know. So as far as, like, the teams to beat or like who's the staple, I believe we don't have a true blue blood just yet. Because, you know, if we think about last season and we think about it candidly and we talk openly and honestly about it, you know, we were high on Oklahoma State last year.
Yeah, you know, and they showed up in some games.
We looked at the fact that, you know, they were in the conference championship after the 2023 season. We look at the fact that, you know, Ollie Gordon was supposed to be numero uno running back. A lot of people don't like talking about these things because, you know, of course there'll be people, and Brian Browning can say, oh yeah, Ashton Jeanty, I had him over Ollie Gordon. But heading into the season, Ollie Gordon was supposed to be that dude, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, heading into this season, there's so many unknowns. There's so many teams that can, like, flip the script. Like, you know, I've been critical of Cincinnati. But, you know, seeing them at media days and seeing how they move, I'm like, could Cincinnati go 6-6, 7-5? Absolutely. Could they go 8-4? I don't know. It's yet to be seen. But, you know, who do I think is the team to beat heading into this year? Like, for me, it's Baylor. It's 100% Baylor. But Kansas State is right there. You know what I'm saying? I look at Chris Kleeman, the culture that he's built, you know, the climate that he's built at Little Apple. Look at the players and how they present themselves. Like, you know, even going back to when Juju Brents was on their team. Yes. You met him at Senior Bowl, how competitive he was, and how he was out there talking to the wide receivers that was torturing everybody. Mm-hmm. He wasn't scared. So, I don't know. Like, I really like them. I like Dylan Edwards at running back. I like Kansas State a lot. I also like Iowa State. But you can't tell me there's a team like Texas Tech, who we look at, who spent a lot of money because that defense was atrocious last year. We know what they can do offensively. But you have to look at them and see what they did in the portal and say, hey, this team can, like, there's 5 or 6 teams right now we can name that can say, hey, they have a legitimate shot of winning. You know, and there's a couple of teams that's right there, but, like, how do we calibrate BYU without, you know, Retzlaff being there anymore?
We got to just focus on LJ Martin now.
Right.
That's all we got.
And Chase Roberts and company. So, I like I said, there's a lot of teams in this conference that I like. You know, we look at a team like Colorado, who's a middle or lower tier team, you know, based on what they're returning, right? But they got active in the portal. This is the best offensive line unit that they had. I feel bad for Shador in a way because, whoever's the starting quarterback is, I believe it'll be Caden Salter. Whoever the starting quarterback is going to be protected this year. And they still have weapons on the outside. So there's just too many teams in this conference that, we might not be paying attention to. But like TCU is another one of those teams, man. It's just so many good teams in this conference. Seriously.
Shameless plug. We just found out from the EA, our EA plug right next to us, that Jordan Seaton's overall is like a 96 in college football 26.
Again?
96. Jordan Seaton. 96 overall left tackle. Crazy. 96 overall for Jordan Seaton, right? 94. He corrected me. Close. That's still crazy though. I just thought about that when you said Colorado.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting, man. I do think that like teams like BYU, for example, no Retzlaff, where does he go? We talked about it a little bit on Overreaction Monday, like where's the perfect fit for him? Mm-hmm. Because it's so late in the process. It's incredibly late in the process. We already at media days. The season's starting now.
Yeah, the season starts now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does Retzlaff do? I think BYU's kind of moved forward past that. They're like, I was kind of nervous to even ask LJ Martin about Retzlaff because I was like, I don't even want to bring up a bad memory for you.
In the media, I don't think asked head coach about it either.
Yeah. Yeah. Just leave it be almost. But BYU's moving like it was really good to see some of their players. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to them more later on today. The Iowa State players we haven't really gotten a chance to talk to fully yet, but hopefully that time comes. We watching Kansas State players just walk past us right now as we speak. And I kid you not, they have an aura and a glow to them. And it's not just the purple that's giving off royalty vibes. It's like giving off like they know that they're here. We know. It's similar to like how Florida State was last year, ACC kickoff, but without all the drip in the jewelry. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot to love. And then from a microscopic football ball talk perspective, I don't know which one of these offenses, and these quarterbacks are going to emerge the most, because you just said it. Like you feel like Sawyer Robinson is your guy. We got another guy that's walking past, and he put the pads on, and I'm like, oh gosh, freaking Avery Johnson, sunshine. I don't know who ends up being the passing leader in this conference. It could be Josh Hoover. It could be Robinson. It could be Caden Salter. Who knows? But I do know that based on the quarterbacks that are here, based on the offenses that are here, with Kansas State coming up right now, who are you like most excited to see? Like besides Baylor, like who are you most excited to see in the Big 12 for their offenses?
It's a lot of teams that I'm interested in, but if we put Baylor aside, I'm trying to think of a team that's going to have a really exciting offense this upcoming year.
Maybe Texas Tech with Caleb Douglas.
Texas Tech is certainly going to be interesting, and their problem wasn't putting up points last year at all.
I feel like Cincy is going to surprise some people, bro.
Cincy is certainly going to surprise some people.
They got consistency.
Arizona. I'm excited for Arizona this year. I think a lot of people are going to write them off. We look at I don't think the 2023 season was a fluke for Noah Fifita. I know some people are probably going to write off Noah Fifita. I'm not one of those people. I don't just write people off. I think sometimes circumstances happen. A lot happened with that program last year. They went from playing in the Pac-12. I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating facts. They went from playing in the Pac-12 to playing in the Big 12. Jeff Fish decided to take the Washington job. So much happened. Offensive coordinator changed. Head coach changed. So I'm really interested in seeing what Arizona has to bring this upcoming season. If there's a guy, who has a chip on his shoulder, you know what I'm saying, that Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot moment. For me, it's Noah Fifita. I believe he could truly be a guy that can come in this season and take and reintroduce himself, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Noah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he can really do that this upcoming season.
Mr. Gunslinger himself.
Yeah.
All 5'10" of him. Hey, he might be a 5'11" on a good day with cleats on. I don't know. We'll see measurables later on in the year. But yeah, I do agree with you about Arizona. I think one thing that Arizona has working in their favor is no T-Mac. Now, I know.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
But, like, when you have a player that talented, 8th overall to the Carolina Panthers, you're gonna miss him. However, it can open up, maybe a different element of this offense that most people are not trying to pay attention to. Is Arizona going to be able to protect Noah Fafita? That's going to be first and foremost. But, deeper than that, can they get, if you're talking ball talk, can they get into favorable situations? Can they be in a
That's
third
key.
down and 4 instead of a third down and 8? Can we not have those horrible, just boneheaded plays that we saw over and over again in 2024 from Arizona? Where this is knocking them out of games. Can we actually be competitive? Because Arizona last year just got mollywop. It's a bad season when you lose to UCF. Crazy. So I'm excited for them. And I think that there's probably no other quarterback that has more to prove at media days than Noah Fafita.
I agree.
100%. Like he can literally change the whole temperature of the room just by how he comes in and commands the day, how he comes in and just bees about his business. Whether it's talking to us, the media, handling himself on the podium, in the breakout rooms, he's going to really have a chance to change the dynamic around Arizona. And, I don't feel like they recovered from their last head coach yet. It's still a little transition, but he's a player that can, mend bridges fast if he just comes and just be a leader. So I'm excited to see Noah Fafita as a leader this year, 2025. Hopefully we get to see it.
You gotta love Chris Kleiman, man. You gotta love him. He just told a reporter, "Let's get this straight." You gotta love it.
Kansas State's up on the podium right now as you speak.
So,
Chris Kleiman is addressing the media and the rest of us.
so let me ask you a question, Moon. What conference do you think we'll see the most live games from this year? Because you HBCU, Moon, I'm G5 governor. Like, what conference do you, historically, I think we've probably seen more ACC and
We've seen more
and
ACC,
FCS games. What conference you think, or level do you think we'll see the most games of this year? I'm loving Texas. That's all I want to tell you right now.
Texas is very great to us. Texas is very great to us. I don't want to be a homer pick just because it's Big 12, but it really is the Big 12. Brett Yormark said it best, and he dropped bars. I didn't know Brendan Sorsby had a mullet like that.
Nah, he was just talking about the mullet. He said he just wanted something new. It's actually who I'm trying to get to interview next, but I think he had to go to Fox and he had to go somewhere else for an interview.
I did not know his mullet was flowing like that. It's crazy. What was your question again, bro? What conference?
Yeah. What conference you think we'll see the most games of this year? Live.
The conference that we'll see probably the most games of is probably the ACC. Just based off of location
and relationships.
But I'm not ruling out other conferences like Conference USA or American Conference, who we have their Radio Row coming up in a couple of weeks too. American
is definitely going to be one of those conferences as well, and we'll be in the SEC this year. That's really dope. Made a lot of connections there. Got some approvals this morning from there as well. So it's
crazy to be out in Texas though.
It really is.
Getting a chance to connect with these schools, talking to these communications people. The points of contact. People have been treating us really nice, man. It's been really good. And that's kind of surprising because you would expect it to be who are you? But we walked up and today it was CFB Nation, CFB Nation, CFB Nation. Oh, CFB Nation on Radio Row. So, they rock with us out here, man. So that's why I'm not ruling out the Big 12. Who knows? Especially what Baylor said.
Yeah.
Walking in Waco.
Walking in Waco. Yeah, I'm not ruling out the Big 12 either. I can't say Texas got some interesting bugs down here. I still don't know what I seen last night. I don't know how to process it.
You gonna tell them the story?
So we was outside of Target yesterday. after we had left Chili's. And mind you, we did go to Chili's, so we did, had they margarita of the month. And so we went there and we see this big bug. It looked like a scorpion. Like that's how big it was. Like it truly looked like a scorpion. And so it was just crawling. So we like, okay, maybe it's a roach. But then the roach started flying, bro. Yo, Texas, what bug is that? Somebody tell me in the chat what bug that is. I've never seen it before ever in life.
A super cockroach.
It's a super cockroach.
Yo, it jetted this way, it jetted back this way, it jetted this way again, and then flew. I was like, yo, I give up. I took off.
We out of there, cuz. We love it. I love Texas. I ain't rocking with the bugs, though.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah.
It's energy, though. It's good energy, though. Very good energy.
I wonder, is it difficult for the punters to punt in the stadium?
Probably so.
Remember when Anthony Richardson threw the ball and hit the ceiling?
Yeah,
was it at his pro day or something?
I think so, yeah. It's pro day. Florida.
Alrighty, so give me your top 4 teams in the Big 12.
Top 4 teams in the Big 12.
Right now. And then, of course, we are going to do our updated college football, our top 25. CFB Nation will have a top 25, and of course we'll have our own individual top 25. We'll do that, second week of fall camp? We'll do that. Mm-hmm. And we've been invited to quite a few fall camps as well. We got a lot to do this coming up. Well, who are your top 4 teams in the Big 12? It don't have to be a specific order unless you have them and you're ready to give the good people your specific order. I'm going to give you the top 5 teams top 4 teams in no order.
Arizona State.
Okay.
Iowa State.
Agree.
Kansas State.
Agree.
Baylor.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I put Baylor. It's hard for me to leave Iowa State out based on what we've been talking about.
Same 4 teams. I agree with that.
I would put Baylor, if I had to rank those 4. Mm-hmm. Baylor might be number 1, bro. Mm. After what I've seen today, they have a quarterback. Baylor might be number 1. If I had to rank them based on what I feel like the season finish would be, mm-hmm. Baylor. Mm-hmm. Baylor. Iowa State overachieves. Kansas State, Iowa State.
Dylon.
Because we get Farmageddon.
When is Farmageddon?
Week 0, right?
Is it?
I think we get Farmageddon week 0. In Dublin. I could be wrong. I gotta double check it. They're gonna beat each other up. It's always what happens in the Big 12. But if I had to pick 4, those are the 4. If you told me that same question of teams that's on the outside looking in, that's trying to that I've changed my perspective on.
Yeah, who would it be?
Cincinnati.
I agree.
Because I had a bone to pick with Cincinnati last year. But
we both did. But we rerouted. We went to Marshall and Maryland, right?
Yeah. It was on the CFB Nation tour.
Yeah.
But, Cincinnati has had to change the heart for me simply because.
Director Mike, can you see if you can get Brendan Sorsby for us?
I really do feel
like for Cincinnati.
After talking to Gavin Gerhardt from Cincinnati offensive lineman with over 30 plus starts, we really got a chance to see and unpack his story. Mm-hmm. It was really great to see the respect that they have with their players. I love Dante Corleone. I was like, yo, it's the Godfather. It's the Godfather. It's the Godfather.
Oh, okay.
And he's here.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati changed my mind on them. Because I was kind of just trying to push them out to the wayside, like, oh, this is Cincinnati. But they really, out of all the teams that have came and talked to us, they're the one team that said that they want to play for their town and they want to play for the city that's on their chest, which is Cincy. And a lot of those players, especially the ones that's from the whole Ohio region, like they take immense pride in that program and the culture. It's similar to what we saw with LJ Martin and BYU when he said, I would never consider transferring.
Yeah.
Like I'm staying. I feel the same way for those kids at Cincinnati. Dante Corleone could have left last year.
He could have.
He could have left, especially after the controversy that came in. He came back after the 5th year. Well, for his 5th year, trying to wrap a bow on it. So Cincinnati's probably changed my mind. Well, if we answer this question tomorrow, It probably
Chris
might be.
Kleeman just said that he thinks that 16 teams is the perfect spot for the college football playoff.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Interesting. How you feel about that?
Say it for the audience again. So
Chris Kleeman is a fan of 16-team playoff. He said he's not sure how we get to the 16-team playoff, but he said he'll like it. He just said, I don't know if you guys can hear him in the background. He said, I would like for it to get to 16. Ooh. We gotta talk about that right now. So, Chris Kleeman is not a fan of knocking the roster size down. So we know that, the House versus NCAA settlement, Claudia Wilkin, who I thought did an incredible job. So they went from 120 players to 105 players. 105 players of which can all be scholarship players. It really hurt the walk-ons. So I love the fact that Chris Kleeman, he mentioned that. He said that I don't think that we've helped the wear and tear. And, we now know a lot more about wear and tear because we play EA Sports College Football 26 out of EA. They right next to us. But it's interesting that he said that. Because I wonder how coaches felt about going down to it. I thought that Judge Claudia Wilkin did a fantastic job. Now, some people may not like her approach, but she held the players accountable. She had the coaches accountable. More importantly, she held the NCAA accountable. But he said he doesn't think, and I wouldn't thought that 15 players mean that much because most teams don't even travel with all 120 players. But what are your thoughts on that? Like Chris Kleeman dropping bombs right now. We love it, brother.
He said first about the playoff, and then he's saying you don't like the roster size. Mm-hmm. You probably won't get a lot of other coaches that's probably on the same boat.
Yeah.
But for him to be the person that can stand out with it, I like it. It is an interesting dynamic of where we are right now because Judge Claudia, I feel like she did the best job that she could given the situation.
Yeah, I thought she did a phenomenal job with it. Where all parties won. Now, all parties not 100% happy because she didn't rule in, 100% for the players or 100% for the coaches in the universities or 100% for the NCAA. She did it where everybody wins. But I didn't know how much those, I guess as it pertains to practice squad players, and, let's say those 15 players, like one guy is fast, so he can be, the scout team quarterback. If you about to face, let's say you about to play Oklahoma, you about to play, John Mateer, this scout team quarterback is fast enough to be John Mateer. He ain't going to throw. He ain't going to throw like John Mateer, but he's certainly going to be fast enough to be, to be John Mateer. So that's interesting. I didn't know how much those walk-on players meant, to be 100% honest with you. Sawyer Robertson just walked right past us.
We saw my eyes light up.
We on a list. We didn't know if it was happening now. That's the beautiful live element of it. Director Mike, man, we gotta get him on camera. He's over there playing with his SMU Mustangs, man. Who we playing against? Playing against Kansas State.
Kansas State.
You gonna have to cook up. We needed one more hand out here because with next year, what we want a camera on Mike at all times, and he should be able to buzz us in. So we definitely could have used more hands out here, but it's a beautiful event set up really nicely. At 4:30 is when all the player interviews are happening down there. So most of the people will be down there. I will be live during that time. That's going to be rough, but if I can figure out a way to where we can, hey Moon, you know what I'm saying? We gonna make it happen. But a lot of that footage, Mike will probably just record and then we'll add that in as B-roll. And stuff of that nature. Moon, we've been live for about 43 minutes. We do need to get lunch. I think this right now is like an intermission. So shout out some people you want to shout out. Shout out your family. We always tell the players to shout out their families. We don't be shouting out our family. Happy birthday, Pops. I'm sorry, because I know my dad has watched this. Happy birthday, Pops. I love you. It's crazy that down here for your birthday, we at Dallas Cowboy practice field. My Pops is a diehard Cowboy fan, so shout out to him, man. I love you, Pops. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Oh, you go and shout out to some of your family too. Shout out to my mom too. W moms.
That's
mama right there. That's
W moms. W moms. Yeah, we was 15 minutes away from AT&T Stadium yesterday.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. It's crazy. My mama calling me now. I'm answering my phone while I'm live. Go ahead, Mo. I'm going.
Hey, special shout out to my family.
Nah. We supposed to be at lunch. We was just saying.
Everybody, if you know, you know. Shout out to you. Shout out to Neon Imani. I love you so much. Shout out to Lowski Low. Shout out to you. Shout out to the CLB Nation family. Special shout out to creative director Mikey playing with the SMU Mustangs right now.
Mama.
He could be a wide receiver on your favorite team. Better stop playing, my man. Hit the bench press. Better stop playing. Yeah, special
You
shout out to
the
everybody.
cameras in. Your cats start doing you dirty, man. We're gonna pay the camera over this.
Oh man,
But yeah,
it's
man.
been a great day though so far.
Shout out to the miners, man. Shout out to Lowski Lolo. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Nino, Boomer, D-Now, SC, Mike.
All the
Mo,
people that
we-
be showing love,
Man, shout out to everybody.
retweeting, sharing.
Oh, shout out to Bull Rush. I don't even got Bull Rush anywhere on here, but shout out to Bull Rush. Bull Rush.
Hey, they
Bull
saved
Rush.
us this morning.
Yeah, they did. They did. Shout out to Bull Rush.
Shout out
Yeah,
Bull
yeah,
Rush.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Shout out Bull Rush. We're gonna be doing some interesting things with Bull Rush. Shout out to Trent. We're gonna be doing some interesting things with Bull Rush over the next couple of months. I don't want to spoil anything, but shout out to them. Bull Rush. Everybody else, man. When I tell you that when we, a lot of people don't understand that me and Moon had another company before this. And one thing I know about business is that you're gonna have more companies that fail than companies that succeed. But when you find that one that succeeds, it's gonna be amazing. And I remember, starting CFB Nation, it just being, my show. Moon was helping me out with it. The company we were, Real Ones Production. Shout out to everybody who helped us with that. I forgot to shout out Jalen. Shout out Jalen Wilson too. And to go from that to doing this, and then linking with Moon, linking with Nino, linking with D-Now, linking with Boomer, even to shout out to T2T2, even linking with them, being able to see how other people do it, and like we all just play our position, that we've been able to grow this thing, beyond my imagination. We haven't even, it's like this, we haven't even reached the heights we think we're gonna reach. Just being at an event like this, people showing genuine love, man, people who care about the sport as much as we care about the sport, it's really dope.
And I think that we were really one of the only independent platforms.
We are
that's
the
out
only
here.
one.
Only independent
Radio Row.
platform that's out here on Radio Row.
Yeah.
So, this you see, you look down Radio Row, there's nobody that looks like us.
Nah, it isn't. And that's the beauty. And we also
the beauty.
Radio Row for ACC Media Days, so we'll be live there. Also Radio Row for the American, their Media Days as well. G5 Governor can't wait for that. And my boy HBCU Moon.
We got SWAC Media Days coming up next week.
Swag.
Since the SEC told us no, I know where I will be at.
Hey, Cincy. Hey. Hey, man, but shout out to everybody, man. I see we got some people in here. I truly appreciate you guys. Me and Moon gonna eat some lunch. Moon, what time you going live for your show?
Probably going live, probably right before you.
Okay, so
Like,
Moon will be
in
going
the
live around
2 to 3 range.
2 to 3. He'll be going live. He got a very special interview he's gonna play for y'all during that live stream. I'm going live at 4 to 5. I'll be in the Governor of College Football with a Matt Berry interview. It's gonna be spectacular. Cannot wait. We want Greg McElroy this week. Also, Ross Dellinger is the one I've been hiding. I haven't seen him yet, but we're supposed to be doing an interview with Ross Dellinger as well.
Yes.
Send us home, man. I need to eat. My stomach hurt.
Hey, look, keep it locked. Stay tuned. Make sure you turn the notification bell on because you never want to miss anything that we got going on for you. Check out DCFBNation.com for all your latest in the college football world. And if you're a Big 12 fan out there, the whole website is dedicated to you for the next couple of days. So hope you enjoy it. For the governor of college football and the world of college football, your boy Moon, we send you off into your day. We'll see you soon. Until next time.